Well, I don't think I can find a loophole or way to say to avoid spoilers for this one. Well, I could. But it would have been a good intro to make a meme of something, but you know. Eh. What's zombie related to this episode? I ate Frankenberry today. I switched it up. I didn't eat Blueberry today. I ate some Frankenberry. I'm pretty sure Frankenstein's monster is kind of a zombie. I mean, he is undead. He came back to life. Then again, Frankenstein's monster doesn't eat brains. I don't know. I was grasping at straws to wonder what I could do for an intro, but what if motherfucking zombies? That's awesome.
Journey to face the unknown and ponder the question. What if?
Salutations, everyone. I'm Miribikoshi, and welcome back to where we ponder the question of what if. And today, it's what if zombies. That's the title. It's no what if the Avengers turned into zombies. It's not what if the world got already fucked over before Thanos came to Earth. No, nothing. It's called what if zombies with a question mark and an exclamation point. Like freaking the Watcher is like, what if, I'm sorry, fucking zombies? Like he's like questioning shit. I will try and say minimal stuff about this episode as possible, but there's a lot of spoilers and everything to get through. I don't think I can make it a spoiler-free one, but I can tell you a few things about it. When I think about the Marvel Zombies comics, I loved the Marvel Zombies comics when I was young. Those were the comics that I felt were like the darkest shit, but also over the top also, but really cool at the same time. Just thinking about like seeing Peter Parker go to his Aunt May and fucking devouring her, like fucking snacking on her like she's a 5-course meal and just eating her. Like Aunt May just destroyed by her own fucking nephew. That was depressing to see. Like if I remember correctly, that's what happened. I was like, oh Jesus, Peter just turned into a zombie. Just it's already like the scariest thing ever, seeing the Marvel superheroes becoming fucking zombies. Like seeing the Marvel characters become zombies is the most sadistic thing ever. You see Hulk as a zombie, you're fucked. You can just die and just get killed already. Hell, I think the worst person you could go up against, besides maybe Thanos, if he becomes a zombie, I think anyone can be fucked if Ant-Man bites you. Like, you'll never see it coming. Like, you think you got all the zombies, you think you killed every single zombie out there. Next thing you know it, you're gonna hear bzzz, and then you're just gonna get bitten by a fucking Ant-Man zombie. Just immediately. Like, go around your neck and go like, bzzz, that's how fucking Captain America went before the episode even fucking started. Like, Captain America was like coming out of the helicarrier or the helijet or something, the Quinjet, I think, and him, Black Widow, Iron Man, everyone of the Avengers that were still on Earth, because this takes place during Infinity War. They went down there to save all civilians, and Captain America's like, all right, let's go to work. And before he can even step out of that Quinjet, freaking Hank Pym, as is so minuscule, like he's so small and tiny, comes in, flies onto Captain America's neck, and he's like, nom! Just like that. Nom! Like, just immediately, Captain America down. He didn't even have a chance to fight at all. He just like boom. But relax, that's not the biggest spoiler in there, because you already know in the Marvel zombie comics all the Avengers get turned into zombies. But the best thing about those Marvel zombies is that they don't forget how to use their abilities, how to use their resources, their powers. Like Iron Man, even though a zombie, he still can fly that suit and just kill people. Hell, he can fucking cook people with his repulsor blast and just like fry them up. He can already make barbecue out of people and gnaw at that. He is like gonna eat good tonight with nice freshly cooked human meat just for himself. Captain America, like, throws his fucking shield. Like, he can still like deflect bullets, anything. He can just deflect anything and throw his shield, probably cut your asses in half and then gnaw at you and eat you. It's so scary. I don't know what Black Widow as a zombie could do. You think she can still do her like superhero pose like she did in the movies? Like before she like eats like people, she just goes like doom and immediately charges at them. She probably would put them in like the headlock with her between her legs just to grab them and then just immediately like snap their neck and then eat them. Like there's a possibility is what she would do in this if there was a zombie movie of Avengers. Because it's so creepy right there. And Hawkeye, Jesus, Hawkeye, he still doesn't miss. Hawkeye doesn't miss at all. Like, Hawkeye is just like, pshoo, pshoo. Like, he could just take you from a distance. You're dead. You didn't need to be bitten or nothing. Hawkeye would just see you from a distance and he's like, oh, I got your ass. And you're dead. And it's like dinner time. Just like, boom. Oh, that. Just imagine zombie Hawkeye just yelling dinner time. Hey, if you lived in a universe where Marvel characters became zombies and all the superheroes became zombies, there is no point in winning the fight or finding a cure, because you're dead. You're done. You're gone. Like, the Avengers are zombies. You can't fight against them unless you're another Avenger. Like, that's game over. Like, Earth's mightiest heroes are fucking zombies. Doctor Strange is a zombie. He can calculate how many possible futures that they win. And he would say, we win all of them, except for one. But we gotta make sure that one thing doesn't happen. Like, Doctor Strange probably has to, like, all the zombies had to start planning shit like, who's the toughest motherfucker we gotta take down without hesitation first so we don't get finessed at all. And they probably were thinking around like, okay, maybe we should take down the Avengers first. We gotta take down them first, and then we could take down the entire population and next. Like, they were like planning shit. Like, who could we kill that can help benefit us in our zombie conquest? And they probably knew the best course of action is get Avengers and say like, yep, them. We gotta get Hulk, and when we get Hulk, we'll have a zombie Hulk in our team to kill everybody. It's so scary to think that. Even knowing what the abilities they can do, I bet like the dangerous ones would be like mutants. Like, if this was Marvel Zombies, I would have loved to see like the zombie X-Men, like zombie Wolverine, just zombie like X-Men characters. Dude. If you can imagine how fucked you are if you met a zombie Quicksilver. Like, he can just get back to you like, no, get your ass out here. Like, he can just run fast and just bite you the moment you try to run away. He's like, nope, bow, psha. Like, you're screwed at that point. You're done. You're gone. There's no way you can get back from that. You are already killed. it's a zombie apocalypse. No one can win. As much as other zombie movies like Dawn of the Dead, where it doesn't end happy because everyone just dies in the end anyway, or just like, you know, Army of the Dead, where people kept trying to go into Las Vegas to steal some money since, you know, before it blows up. Like, that doesn't go well either. You expect something peaceful. A zombie movie is not peaceful. Like, a lot of characters you're gonna like in a zombie movie or in a zombie TV show, they're gonna end up getting killed. That's the point of a zombie movie. And this What If episode plays out like a zombie movie. There are casualties. There are characters that we like, they end up getting killed. There's a lot of dark things that happen that flexes people's morals slightly different, that people start to change and become different people when the zombie apocalypse happens. Things are utter chaos. A zombie apocalypse is not a straightforward path. It's not a perfect road. You're gonna get killed, you're gonna get destroyed and eaten, and then probably in the process, if they aren't that hungry and they don't eat you out alive, then you become like a freaking zombie and you're all screwed. Which I loved about this show, this episode. It does take itself seriously with the zombie plot line. What if these characters, who are heavily outnumbered, they were in the zombie apocalypse? And Infinity War was an insane choice to make, showing that. So the zombie apocalypse starts off happening because Janet Van Dyne, Hope Van Dyne's mother, she sadly got infected with some quantum realm virus that makes her into a flesh-eating zombie. Then she comes out of the quantum realm, and then she starts the zombie apocalypse. Takes down Ant-Man first like he was nothing, and you think that's a spoiler, but no. I haven't gotten to the best parts yet. I'll let you know when spoilers really happen. Everyone is turned to a zombie. Hulk comes back after getting his ass kicked by Thanos, so Infinity War is definitely still happening in space with the Guardians, with Thor and Rocket and Groot trying to get Stormbreaker. So everything in space is happening normally, while things on Earth are completely fucked. So I wonder what Thanos' reaction is going to be when he sees the world is already screwed. He's like, oh shit, gotta get the Mind Stone before the zombie apocalypse gets worse. Like, he probably had to say that. Who knows? But it was really like interesting to see like all these characters come together. Spider-Man, Bruce Banner, Bucky, and who else? Okoye. Who else was there? Kurt from Ant-Man, you know, the Russian dude who was part of the crew that Scott Lang was in. Kurt's there. Oh yeah, Happy is there as well, which is cool. They are all together to... Oh yeah, and Hope. Yeah, Hope is there too. Hope is there, and everyone is like teaming up to find a way how to escape and survive. And like most zombie apocalypse, there's always a safe haven, or there's some sort of cure that's in a zombie apocalypse that can help save everyone or help survive and go to a shelter where they won't get killed. And that's like a lot of zombie movies, where we gotta go to this safe haven where it's free of infection and we can get out of here and we can be safe, and they are probably in the process of getting a cure. It's always that. A zombie film is always a journey film, or a film where you're feeling isolated and trapped kind of film. Like you're either trapped in a place where you're surrounded by zombies and you're trying to figure a way out, or you're in a movie where you're trying to get to one point to a destination to another, and try to survive with the team you have. And this is what the show is played out as. It's always a point A, point B zombie film, which is cool. I like that. And I like the spin to it is that it's Marvel characters facing a zombie apocalypse. It's really cool. And I can't describe it to you how cool it is because that delves into spoilers. So I say watch this episode right now when you have the chance, and then go see for yourself how good this is. Now, on to spoilers. This is a very dark but kind of more lighthearted episode. So it does start out with Hulk going back to Earth and seeing everything is screwed over, and of course one of the two guys, the children of Thanos, the one guy, the smarmy dude that Tony Stark called Squidward.
It means get lost, Squidward.
Bruce Banner sees everyone getting killed. Like the two guys over there, they got eaten by the Avengers zombies quickly. Like Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, and Wong are already zombies. They try to kill Bruce Banner, but luckily Hope comes in with all of her insects to destroy those zombies. Everyone's dead. And then he's rescued by Spider-Man as well, which I heard the actor who played Spider-Man in this is not Tom Holland, but this dude is a really close to accurate voice of Tom Holland's Spider-Man's voice. And I heard this was the actor who played Spider-Man in the short-lived Spectacular Spider-Man TV show that used to come on a long time ago on Saturday morning cartoon networks, basically. Spectacular Spider-Man. If anyone does still remember what Saturday morning cartoons are, there used to be a place where primetime networks have Saturday morning cartoons for kids who are at home, and when they're home, they wake up in the morning, eat their bowl of cereal, and watch the cartoons that come on Saturday. And if you missed an episode, you missed an episode. You're screwed if you missed at least one single cartoon that you've been waiting to watch. Like I remember in Saturday morning cartoons, I used to watch a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Back then. I used to binge a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Back then. I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! Back then when I watched it. I couldn't get into the card game as most people, but I hear people who do play the card game, they say hey, all the shit they do in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, it's bullshit. That's not how you're supposed to play the game.
No, this isn't how you're supposed to play the game.
But I'm getting off track of it. It was cool to hear him again, and he did a great job portraying Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And I loved this scene where Spider-Man is filming a survival orientation guide of how to survive the zombie apocalypse, and it's hilarious. It's like what he did in Spider-Man Homecoming, where he made a little video about his adventures fighting Captain America and his team in Civil War, and he has his little his phone recording a nice video, which was pretty funny to see. And it plays out the same way, just like the Homecoming intro, but it is more of him telling everyone how to survive the zombie apocalypse. And it was pretty funny to see Happy so pissed off at Peter, why do I have to wear this embarrassing shirt? You'll laugh when you see what shirt he's wearing. His Spider-Man shows everyone to test out how to beat a zombie, and Kurt is pretending to be a zombie, and then they interrupted Bucky when he was showering thinking he was vulnerable, but Kurt's oh wow, I did not know your robotic arm was waterproof. That's interesting. And it was nice to see all these characters together, but at least they're having fun in the apocalypse when everything is into shit, but Spider-Man tries to see the brighter side, the hopeful side, which is a nice important thing because Spider-Man is the key. He is the heart of this episode. So they learn of a distress signal that there's a secret little safe haven that they can go to that basically has a cure to the zombie virus, and they all need to like get there. So they obviously go to like the train station to head to like Jersey, so to New Jersey, to go to this military base that supposedly has a cure for the virus. And they go, and so they already planned out, they go into like the train station, and Okoye just says the dumbest thing, which is we should split up. And I love Peter is still in character than he was in the Spider-Man movies, which honestly he is. I as much as I don't like the more MCU Spider-Man movies, I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. He's like the one actor that got all the, he has all the quips, he has all the emotion, he has all like the funny jokes he does. He has the energy, the positive energy you need. He's like perfect. He's very quippy and silly like Spider-Man. He's still the smart nerd he was in the comics as well that I liked. Something that Tobey Maguire did good, being dorky and nerdy as Peter Parker, but kind of failed being hilarious and funny as Spider-Man. When he became Spider-Man, he was just kind of serious more than quippy. I mean, sure, he had a few jokes here and there. I mean, I liked his quips when he talked shit to Randy Savage in the first movie. Like, that's a cute outfit. Did your husband give that to you or something? Yeah. I love that. It's very silly. Hey, but other lines like, you know, it's you who's out Gobby, out of your mind. It was meh. I think Andrew Garfield did better as Spider-Man, but failed at being Peter Parker for me.
Hey, my name is Spider-Man. You can call me Webhead, you can call me Amazing, just don't call me late for dinner, you get it?
Because he didn't seem that nerdy, he didn't seem that much of like kind of that outcast in high school that he was portrayed as in like Marvel Comics. He looked like he was, well, good looking. Like, he was too good looking. That's my problem with him. Like, he didn't look like he would be someone to get bullied at all. Like, it was weird. Like, he didn't look like a kid, like a teenager that would get bullied in high school. I don't know. That's just me. I just don't believe it. I just have a hard time believing him as Peter Parker, but I found it easy to buy him as Spider-Man because he actually had the jokes, the quips, and all the silly dialogue he had in the first movie and the second movie of Amazing Spider-Man. It's just that I just don't like the movies in general because the story and characters are purely flawed, because the Amazing Spider-Man movies are studio-made movies, not a director who had a vision and wanted to do something good to these characters. No, it was just a studio with a lot of studio notes thinking, no, it should do this, it should do that. Like,
well, the chart says...
I'm not asking the charts, I'm asking you!
Well, the chart says...
You are everything that's wrong with entertainment!
But the chart says...
But the actor here, he does a good job too. I love Tom Holland, and I love this guy. I actually enjoyed it, Spectacular Spider-Man. I think it did better, but, you know, it was a Spider-Man for that generation, that time, because I grew up with the 90s Spider-Man. But this one I liked more because I think Spectacular Spider-Man also introduced me to Gwen Stacy, and I honestly had a crush on Gwen Stacy. I was like, you know what? Gwen Stacy is better than Mary Jane Watson. I don't know. It's just me. I just thought Gwen Stacy was more of an interesting character than Mary Jane. because I never seen her as interesting in a lot of iterations, except for maybe the 90s cartoon. She actually had some character to her. While in the movies, she's just, I'm screaming for dear life, I'm the damsel in distress. Well, Gwen Stacy in the movies, she's badass. Like, she is like the coolest character in the movies and cartoons. Like, in the movies, like the Amazing Spider-Man film, she is smart. She actually can hold off on her own. She was a real freaking like G when she like hit Lizard upside the head with a freaking fire extinguisher and then sprayed the shit out of him to distract him while Spider-Man had to get up after getting his ass kicked by the Lizard. Like, Gwen Stacy's awesome, especially when she becomes Spider-Gwen. When she becomes Spider-Gwen, that is when all hell breaks loose, yo, because you know you're screwed when the Spider-Woman comes in and kicks your ass, because she is cool as that too. And I think Peter becomes the Lizard in her universe. I don't know. I think he becomes the Lizard. But again, I'm getting off topic on things. But but they go into the train station, and I love how, even though they split up, Spider-Man's like, hey, haven't you seen horror movies? It's a bad thing to split up. And, you know, Okoye learns her mistake the hard way because we lose one person out of it, and that was Happy. And but the way Happy dies is both funny and sad, because he has like a repulsor like blast gauntlet like from the Iron Man suit. I don't know where the power is being generated on that thing, but he can use it. And every time he's firing it, you hear him go bang, 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 or boom, 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 or something. And Sharon Carter, which luckily Sharon in this universe, she's not a bad guy like she was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and still is a bad guy in Falcon and the Winter Soldier at the end of the series, which, Jesus Christ, Sharon, what happened to you? She still is like a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. She's still an Avenger, clearly. She still cares, I guess. And she's not the whatever villain name she was back then. I can't remember. But Sharon Carter sees Happy and wondering, like, did you just went bang every time you fired the repulsor blast? No. And it reminded me every time Happy said bang, 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 every time he fired his repulsor blast, it reminded me of the scene, it reminded me of the Sephiroth remnants from Advent Children yelling, bang, bang, and then Happy sadly dies after he kept saying bang, 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 trying to kill Hawkeye. But you know Hawkeye, he never fucking misses. And then he bites Happy, turns him into a zombie. And I was like sad. I was like, oh no, Happy turned into a zombie. But the zombie starts firing the repulsor beam at Sharon, and he says, bang. I'm not. As a zombie, Happy still says bang. Well, he fires the fucking repulsor blast. This is why the episode is a good mixture of being dark and grim, dramatic, and also comedic as well. It's more uplifting, like you're in better spirits, you're smiling, you're having a good time watching this, more than the Doctor Strange episode. That one was dark. That one had no levity, no nothing. That episode was pure depression. And I was glad it was sad. I was glad it was depressing, but given what the week was for me and everyone else last week, depression wasn't something we needed back at the time with that episode. But this one put a goofy smile on my face seeing everyone a zombie and all of these Marvel heroes just like fighting them. I was like, this is awesome. So they managed to get the train moving because Spider-Man had to release the brake with his Spidey strength and his webbing. And they release the brake and they go and get out of the train station and head to New Jersey to the base. But you know, Okoye feels sad that, yeah, it was a bad idea to split up because fucking Falcon and Zombie Falcon and Zombie Hawkeye crashed the place and ambushed them. And Zombie Falcon, damn, he still flies with his like wings, and Okoye had to kill Sam because he was about to eat Bucky, and Okoye's like, I'm sorry, he was your friend, I know. And then Bucky's like,
I should be sad, but I'm not.
and which makes sense because this is before they kind of had their bonding moment in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because Bucky and Sam didn't leave on good terms after Civil War. Like, Sam got arrested and Sam fucking like didn't move his seat up for Bucky in the car, and not only that, they just hated each other during the airport fight scene. So yeah, you can tell that Bucky's like, yeah, it's sad that he's dead, but honestly, I just don't care.
I don't care!
A scene that does make sense and how depressing it is when Bucky has to face his like best friend, Captain America, be a zombie, and he's like eating Sharon Carter because Cap managed to jump on the train before they left. And he starts to eat Sharon, she gets killed, she becomes a zombie. I don't know why Bucky had to throw her against the wall when he could have easily just broke her head like a freaking watermelon and just, you know, crack it and then just throw her on the ground. Because when he threw her into the wall, I'm like, oh, so Bucky's going to get killed this way by a surprise attack from Sharon Carter because he has his back turned after he kills Captain America. I was wrong. They go gorier than that. Hope Van Dyne is in like small Ant-Man mode, like she's in Wasp mode, and then she expands herself inside of Sharon, and she's like covered in gory entrails and bloody bits of Sharon on her suit. And I was like, okay, so you feared to not crack a zombie's head. You feared to show people getting eaten, but it's okay to see people get exploded into gory bits?
Guys, I'm covered in Sharon.
Like, I don't understand what tone that Disney wants for the What If series, but having Hulk blow up in the third episode where he turns into nothing but gory bits, but then I learned it was actually a puff of smoke that he became when he blew up after like Hank killed him after expanding his heart. But to me, that looked like he turned into a goopy little green mess before he died. And seeing Sharon get blown up and now she's nothing but entrails because Hope just expanded inside her, I'm like confused. Like, you can't show anyone getting like brutally killed. You can't show people getting what? Like shot, eaten, stabbed, probably, I guess. I don't know. Like, you can't show it in an explicit way, but if it comes to exploding people into bits, that's okay with Disney, I guess. Which is kind of weird. I honestly do not understand. If zombies don't count for horror for them, if like showing, but if depressing and heartbreaking episodes like the Doctor Strange episode is okay. I don't know why they can't go above and beyond with a horror episode. Like a legit, hands down horror, body horror episode. I'm sorry, I know I've been harping on the topic about I wish we had the Spider-Man body horror episode, but I'm sorry, it just... They mentioned it in an interview where they talk about one episode they couldn't do, and it's now just teasing us. Like, it's just teasing us like, haha, you could have had this, but you don't. Ha ha ha. You can't have this episode. like Disney is like that dude from that commercial where he has like a fishing rod and attached to like the hook it's $1, and Disney's like, oh, you almost had it.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Hope actually got scratched or bitten during her fight, which I don't know who scratched her and I don't know who bit her, because she was clearly like the size of a wasp when she was like killing guys back and forth in the train station. So I don't know how she got clipped when she was small the whole time, but she did. And the train runs out of fuel. But, you know, Hope and Peter have this heart-to-heart conversation that I loved, because Hope is wondering how could Peter stay so optimistic, and he says it was because he got advice from his Aunt May that if I stop smiling when things are rough, then we're good as gone anyway. If I remember correctly, that's what the saying he said, because he mentions that it was hard for him after losing Tony Stark, his parents, Uncle Ben, which was really cool that we actually. It was interesting to hear that, because we don't hear Peter say much about his Uncle Ben in the movies, but hearing him say it about how he gets through a difficult time, he tries to smile through it, he tries to power through all the sadness and depression about what happened and all the pain he's locked away, something that kind of alludes to with Far From Home, of what happened in that movie after knowing that Tony died. And seeing this where he's trying to be more hopeful, it's a nice way to show that Peter tries to smile through the harsh times, even all the people he looked up to sadly passed away. And I like that. I like it kind of builds in the world of his character that we never got that much of in the Spider-Man movies. And sure, yes, we've seen the backstory 100 times. Peter loses his Uncle Ben. He then becomes Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. They show that. They of course, we already know the story. We've seen it 100 times, and Marvel figures, well, let's skip the origin story altogether and just get to him being Spider-Man, which is fine, but without that backstory, it sadly feels like there's nothing. Like, we do get mentions of his Uncle Ben here and there, like this little like briefcase or something he had in his closet that he uses that has BP on the initials, BP on the bag, and that clearly means Ben Parker. But this show actually shows more about it with that one line about Peter having to come to grips with loss. And I like that in this episode, that they showed Peter more character to him. Because again, I said, he's the heart of the episode. He's what keeps people smiling and happy. And he tries to keep people happy just for the sake of helping the world, you know, when they're down, when they're depressed. Even though when he's down, he still wants to keep being optimistic for everyone around him and tries to be better for himself. Like, even though he is grieving inside, he still wants to be there for people, make them smile, make them happy, laugh. He still wants to be a better person for it, just to be there for friends. And I love that in this episode. And so Hope does sacrifice herself in this, because the whole entire military base is swarmed with zombies. So Hope goes and turns herself big, gigantic, basically, and then just stomps on all the zombies that are climbing onto her leg, climbing onto her butt, and then she's just smacking them down and just attacking them while she's carrying all the survivors that lived through the train to the military base. And then she goes there and she says, "Smile for me, Peter." And Peter sees her go down and she's dead, which was sad, but also kind of risky, because, like, well, shit, now you got a giant wasp lady as a zombie now. You're fucked if you face off against her. And you find out that they're not, because Vision is in control of this military base, because he found a way how to stop the zombies from coming to the base by controlling their mind to stay away from the base. And it was also the same thing that made it as a cure to cure people from being a zombie, by helping manipulating their brain with the Mind Stone, which brought Scott Lang back. And I was like, wait, what happened to Scott Lang? And I kept thinking, oh yeah, that Marvel trailer showed like someone's decapitated head in a glass container, and it was Scott Lang the whole time in there. So he lost his body, but he had his head still, even after getting bitten. So Scott became one of the headless, like the bodiless people that are in glass containers, the characters from frickin' Futurama.
Bob Dole needs company. LaRouche won't stop with the knock-knock jokes.
If you think this episode was not that dark, it isn't. Like, people get turned to zombies, but hey, a zombie movie's fun until it gets fucked up and dark. I try to remember when I seen something dark in a zombie movie. I think it's when it's not the zombies itself, it's the people who get crazy and desperate. And you know how there are people that turn into like hunters that would kill anything that stands in their way. It doesn't matter if you're a human or a monster or a zombie. Like, there's those people that are like, they'll do anything to survive and they'll kill anyone that stands in their way. Kind of like raiders from Fallout, or people who've gone crazy who can't let go of a loved one, and they will do anything to keep them alive, by even if it means killing survivors so they can feed their dead loved one corpses of humans that they killed to please their dead loved one. And ooh, this is fucked. You thought, I was like wondering, because they said that, oh, this ain't the last time you're gonna see Chadwick Boseman as like Black Panther. I was like, oh, okay, so he did record lines for more episodes that he did for What If. That's cool. Ooh, boy, this is really dark. So Vision tricks survivors to go to this military base. He tricks the survivors to come over here and make people think, give them this false sense of hope. It's actually a trap. Vision takes the survivors, like cuts them up into bits, like cuts off their limbs, anything, and then just feeds them to his dead girlfriend, Wanda Maximoff herself, Scarlet Witch. And Scarlet Witch is probably the best Dark Phoenix ever put onto screen. No, I'm not kidding, because she's more terrifying than the Dark Phoenix in the X-Men movies. Because the X-Men movies, she was okay, she was fine, she just didn't have the right backstory. But given the context of how Wanda and Vision grown very close to each other during Civil War and Infinity War, it showed and what we've seen in WandaVision. Like, this is like the compare and contrast of things, right? Like, Wanda, what did she do when she was grieving for Vision? She found a way to bring him back by manipulating a town to be in her little sitcom world that she built for herself, so she can stop feeling grief, stop feeling sad, and actually live in a nice universe where Vision is still alive. If that shows Wanda's growth as a character, seeing what she would do after losing everyone she loved, after losing everyone she cared about. And now you see the difference also here, that Vision would do the same with Wanda. Wanda would not let go of Vision, and Vision can't let go of Wanda. Like, they're put in those two situations where they probably said to them, like, I know it's a bad thing, but please just try not to do anything stupid when grieving for me, right? Like, Wanda probably said to Vision to let her go and do what needs to be done if she ever turns into a zombie, but I guess Vision didn't listen and rather keep her alive as zombie Maximoff as she is. And I love that, because this episode does show the two compares. Like, Wanda will make a sitcom when Vision dies. Vision will keep his zombie wife locked in a cage and feed her freaking T'Challa to her. Jesus Christ. That is so dark, because T'Challa's on the fucking the surgery table, and you see like his one leg is amputated off. So you know that freaking Vision just straight up cut his leg while he was down, and then was like, hey, Wanda, I got Black Panther meat for you right here. Eat this. Like, it is so fucked up. Like, Jesus. Vision just straight up took survivors and made them into lunch for his girlfriend. And everyone finds out Vision commits suicide after he realizes the damage he's done, the sin he committed. And Vision's like, well, shit. And then he basically committed suicide. He Thanos himself. He grabbed like that Mind Stone out of his head and just ripped it out of him and just fell and collapsed dead. Like, Jesus. And when Wanda, because she hasn't eaten for days, she escapes her prison, kills Kurt, kills Okoye, but, you know, since she's Wakandan, she fucking says Wakanda forever before she dies, and then Wanda just freaking just destroys her, like explodes her into bits and pieces. And Jesus, poor Kurt died. That's the second time this actor, David, what's his name? David something, I forgot how to say his last name, but that's the second time I've seen him die in the same year. He gets killed off when he's Polka Dot Man, but then he gets killed off as freaking Kurt as well. That's sad. And they had to escape to the Quinjet. They had to go into it and just try to leave as possible because Vision committed suicide. So that dude just killed himself before they had the chance to go and escape. They just said peace and bye. They grab the Mind Stone and try to escape, but Scarlet Witch, I honestly felt bad for her because she was still Wanda even as a zombie. Because you saw Wanda like sees Vision's dead, lifeless corpse on the ground, and you see her going down to her knees, carrying Vision with her arms, and you see her sad. Like, you see zombie Wanda depressed that Vision is dead. Because you didn't know that because you now see that Wanda was still herself, but still as a zombie. Like, she still cared for Vision. Even as a zombie, she still cared about him. And you see, like, the sadness in her eyes and her face while Bucky tries to shoot her, but she just starts stopping the bullets like Neo from the Matrix and just kills Bucky immediately. I mean, yes, Bucky is stupid. But yet he was trying to buy some time. But I think it was kind of pointless because Wanda was already distracted with Vision being dead and all. So I don't know why he did that. And he just flies by, yeet, gone. And Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Hulk, and Scott, along with the Cloak of Levitation carrying Scott, basically, they go into the Quinjet. They have to go and fly it. Black Panther's the one flying, has to make sure everything is fine. And then they're stopped by Wanda and the army of zombies, including a zombie General Ross. I noticed that General Ross was there too, which makes sense because he is part of the army and military, so of course he would be there. And they go up to the Quinjet to stop them from the survivors to coming to get out of the base. And Hulk, and then Bruce Banner said, like, you know what, I'm gonna sacrifice myself, which I was like, no, you just got here. But Bruce Banner is like, hey kid, avenge us, which was really cool because in Infinity War it was Iron Man that gave him the mantle of being an Avenger now, but now it's Hulk. That was Bruce Banner saying, like, avenge us, because that was basically his way of saying to Peter that he's an Avenger now, which is pretty nice to see, because it's like there's a compare and contrast basically about Tony Stark making him an Avenger to now it's Bruce Banner making him an Avenger, which is pretty cool. And so Bruce Banner, out of desperation, goes and runs forward towards a horde of zombies, hoping that Hulk would bring up the courage to actually get out of his depressional state after getting his ass kicked by Thanos. And he does, to protect his friends. And he goes on a big standoff fight with Wanda, which was really awesome. Like, Hulk holed out on his own against Wanda. Dude was a freaking beast, and I loved it. They managed to escape, but sure as shit, here comes Hope, gigantic as we last saw her, become a zombie, grabbing the Quinjet and trying to kill the last remaining Avengers. But Black Panther put that fucking jet into maximum overdrive and just flew out there. And Hope got so pissed off that she took one of the zombies that were next to her, froze it at the jet, and the zombie's like, ah! Which is really pointless. That was like such a tantrum move on Hope. Like, fuck you. She got so mad. I mean, to be honest, she could have just shrunk down to size and flew to the Quinjet and attack them. She could have done that, but I guess she wasn't thinking at the time. I bet that's what she was thinking as soon as they left. She's like, oh, I could have flew and shrunk down and got them. Why was I not thinking that? But yeah, it was sad, but hey, it's a zombie episode that has the same themes of a zombie film. There's gonna be casualties, and there's gonna be a low number of survivors that came out of the apocalypse unscathed. And it's only 3 people, which makes sense. It's a zombie apocalypse. What did you expect? Like, there's not going to be a positive ending where everyone makes it out fine. No, it's going to have a lot of death, casualties, and losses. Like, that's the whole thing about zombie movies. They always end depressing, but have a small chance of hope at the end as well, which is good, that I liked about it. And the episode does, like, for a while, ends on a happy note that they'll go to Wakanda and try to find a cure to stop the zombie apocalypse, but I kind of wish that they went the extra mile and made it like a zombie movie. Like, you know how in Dawn of the Dead, where they go to the island and they fight has survivors, but it's already has hordes of zombies, and you could tell they're fucked because the boat ran out of gas, they ran out of food and water, and they thought like, hey, maybe there's hope on this island. There isn't, and all the zombies come in to kill and eat them, and they're already screwed. And then you hear the freaking Disturbed song. I just wanted that to happen, where Black Panther and Spider-Man and Scott go to Wakanda and it's empty at first, and they're like, hey, is anyone here? And you see all these Wakandan soldiers come in, running in the field as zombies, and then you hear that Down with the Sickness song playing in the background go, ooh, wow. I just wanted that to happen. I just wanted that to happen in the freaking episode, but no, it got darker actually. Thanos became a zombie. What's worse about it, it's Thanos with the fucking Infinity Gauntlet about to find the Mind Stone. He's got like all except for the Mind Stone with his gauntlet, and he is already like a skull-faced, decaying Thanos already, which makes me question how the fuck did the zombies get to him before he had a chance to like attack them. Like, he clearly does have the Time Stone. Like, couldn't you just reverse back time to make sure that shit never happens again? I guess not. Because he's probably like, comes into Earth, and then he's like, humans. And then all the zombies come in and gang up on him. He's like, wait, what the fuck? You motherfuckers bit me. And then he turns into a zombie. So, yeah, everyone's screwed at that point. Thanos is gonna snap everyone, and he's gonna make everyone into zombies. But then again, isn't that like a downfall? Like, once the zombies taken everyone on the planet, there's nothing else left for them to eat. Unless zombie Thanos is like, more humans to snack on. It's just he snaps his fingers. Like he makes it more overpopulated, the planet, just so he can eat more humans. Or everyone will travel around the galaxy now. That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. they're gonna travel across the galaxy, and they're gonna go and find more people to kill. Like, they're gonna go to nowhere, and they're gonna eat people there. They're gonna go to fucking all the other planets around the galaxy and start creating a zombie apocalypse filled universe. That would be so cool to see. Oh my god. This episode was fun. Like, it's less depressing than like with Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was in the realm of like, oh shit, that could actually happen. Like it was like a possibility. It wasn't just a what if for Doctor Strange. It was a what if for everyone. Like, what if you did had the power to go back in time and save the one you loved? And would you risk the entire universe just to save them? And the worst answer is yes, because grief is a motherfucker. Like, whoever has that power, they're not going to think rationally. You're going to think, no, I want this person back in my life, and I don't care if I destroy the entire universe because of it. I'm going to go and give back who I cared about. And that was the realism about that episode that made it depressing. Here with with zombies, you have more of an entertaining quality to it. There's a lot of comedy, a lot of heart. There is a lot of sad moments because, of course, you're going to get killed in a zombie apocalypse, but it does have levity to it. It does have some hope or some kind of thing that you hope in zombie movies, but also the fun and enjoyment of a zombie movie as well. Like, it's less depressing. Like, sure, it's sad to see people die, but it's more or less like it's not realistic. Like, it doesn't start making you think philosophical questions about what would you do if you were put in that situation. It's just more about have fun. This is a zombie episode where it's like a zombie movie, and you're just going to have some fun and enjoyment to it, which is good. I like that. I mean, I think I had more fun with this than the last one, of course. It did get me away from that depressional mindset and got a smile on my face very quickly. So I love that. Anyway, I give this episode an 8.6 out of 10. It was fun. I want more. Like, if they ever make a Marvel Zombies TV show, I would definitely watch it. But I say make a Marvel Zombies TV show, but it's more accurate to the comics this time and not like restrained to the MCU. Like, I feel like there would be that would be a cool thing to see, is see a Marvel Zombies TV show actually being made and seeing like all the Avengers trying to stop the zombie apocalypse and failing, but them trying to regain that shred of hope to hope that they can stop this apocalypse and find a cure. So I would love to see that. That would be really cool to see, a Marvel zombie show. It doesn't need to be like a long ass series like The Walking Dead is. It could be a limited series, a mini series, if you will. And I would totally watch it. It'd be enjoyable to see that happen. But what do you guys think? Did you love the episode? Is this one of your top 5 best What If episodes so far? I say for me, number 1 is T'Challa as Star-Lord. Number 2 is Doctor Strange losing his heart. And number 3 is Marvel Zombies. I do love all 3 of those episodes. And the bottom, yeah, number 5 is the Agent Carter episode, because that one was and didn't challenge anything at first, which was pretty sad to start off your series as. But yeah, what do you think about this? Do you love it? Do you like it? Did you enjoy this review? If so, that's cool. Leave a like if you want to, and check out my other stuff. Anyway, I'll see you Wolfpack in the next one. Ciao, darlings.
Ow, ow, ow! Ow! Ow!